Welcome back to the Super Soldier Society podcast. In today's episode, I'll be sharing you guys the lessons I learned from my military career and how it can help somebody that is either interested in joining the military or somebody that is in the military and also getting out of the military here soon, and how to find yourself so you can live life more fulfilled than you did in the military. So, let's get started. First off, let me go ahead and explain who I am. My name is Kasim Abdul Sattar. I'm originally from Japan and Yokosuka. Do I know Japanese? I wish. I don't. Not yet. Both my parents were also Army. So being raised as a military brat around the world, we've been to Turkey, Germany, the Netherlands, Alabama, and they retired in San Antonio, Texas, and that's where I enlisted. But we'll get into the reason why I enlisted a little bit later. But that's just like a brief introduction about me. And, the purpose of the episode is just like I said, right, is to benefit the listeners that are either wanting to join or the listeners that are either getting out of the military here soon, and really try to put your feet on the ground as a civilian and keep sprinting as fast as you were in the military. So, let's get right into it. So, why did I join? Most people only join the military for only two reasons: inspiration or desperation. Your boy, I was both. So seeing both of my parents wake up super early, always fit, always having good friends around them, it leaves an impression on you as a kid and inspires you to be like your parents, right? Just like every kid wants to be, just like their parents. I was one of those kids, so I was always inspired to join, but I was desperate at the time in my life in 2020, April 2020, because my girlfriend at the time just had our baby, right? So I was like, okay, these jobs ain't working. I was working at Gold's Gym at the time. I needed to get something more sustainable so I can have the safety net under my family, right? So I enlisted into the Army National Guard. I knew how active duty was. We were always moving. I kind of didn't like moving, but I'm used to it now because I'm adaptable. But I joined the Army National Guard because I wanted to stay home. I love Texas. Texas is where the heart is, right? I'm from Japan, but I claim Texas. But I say that because, wherever you're at in your journey, right? If you have the thought about joining the United States military, do it. Just do it. You're going to thank me later. And here's why. Right? So, that's the reason why I joined, right? The expectations that I had going into the Army National Guard was just like, okay, this is going to be like active duty. I'm going to go graduate from AIT and boot camp, and I'm going to go straight to my job, and I'm going to start working. National Guard's not like that. Within the National Guard, as soon as you graduate from AIT, your Advanced Individual Training, you are kind of just like a weekend warrior. That's exactly what you are, actually, a weekend warrior. You put on the uniform 1 weekend out of the month and 2 weeks out of the year full time, unless you apply for jobs within the National Guard, right? Your boy was on the border mission for about 2 years, and I love being down there. I'm actually down here right now in Del Rio, Texas, before we move in the next 4 to 6 weeks, depending what time you're watching this. But my military career, as far as just like that expectation of me working all the time, it was like crashed down because I'm a high speed guy. The reality is you gotta wait. You gotta wait a long time still. So if you're really trying to make some money, maybe the National Guard's not for you. Maybe you should just go straight active duty. If you're a kid that's in high school, right, and you're looking to get some college benefits, maybe the National Guard is for you, right? Because the National Guard does have a plethora of benefits that can actually aid you in success for your future. So I highly recommend that if you're a high school student, if you're somebody that's a little older, right, and you're having kids and like it's kind of stressful financially, go straight active duty. Straight active duty. So that was kind of like the expectation versus the reality. Now we're going to get into the trainings and the challenges, right? So I want to highlight a moment, a physical challenge that boot camp taught me about discipline and resiliency, right? Man, it's really whenever you get off that bus. In COVID, it was a little different. The drill sergeants aren't really yelling that much, and when they are, they have a mask on, so it's not that intimidating, but having the drill sergeants consistently every single day trying to figure out a new way or a new solution to just incorporate some type of adversity in the whole platoon, the whole squad, right? I say that was the most difficult time because just like I know what I'm capable of. I know that I can run this mile, but maybe this guy over here to the right of me, he can't. Right? So he's like dragging the team down, and we're all getting smoked because of this one guy or multiple guys that can't run or can't do push ups. So it was really just like not lowering my standards to their standards, but just raising my standards to a higher level and just keep going, because it gives people something to shoot forward to, right? I'm 26 now, but I'm smoking those 18-year-olds and 19-year-old boys. You know what I mean? And some people that were my age couldn't do that, right? So it was just like, okay, you have to develop that routine for yourself, and we'll get into that some more. But those were just some of the early lessons that I learned as soon as I got to boot camp. Like, you are not alone. You are a team now, right? We're going to take you from the civilian mindset, and we're going to water it down, stomp you out, and we're going to put you back together as an American soldier. As far as soldiers, right? I don't know about Navy, Army, Marines or Air Force, but they go through some similar type of training still. Where they have to go against some adversity just like anybody or any branch does. But in the Army, most definitely, right? So, going on. So the core values of the Army which are integrity, loyalty, honesty, duty, selfless service, personal courage, and honor. I remembered all of them. Are my personal core values, right? You guys see some of them in the back, but those are the ones that the Army instilled in me. So when it comes to like personal core values and principles on how to live your life, you live your life by those 7 core values, right? You respect everybody. You make sure you take care of all your duties. You make sure you honor your family name and make sure that you do everything that you possibly can to make sure that your job, it gets done. Right? You're making sure your job gets done so the guy behind you doesn't catch all that slack, right? So, Army values, my core values, when we talk about like teamwork and leadership, share experiences where you learn the importance of teamwork and how it translated into civilian life. So, there's multiple experience, but I'm just going to give you guys this one. We were out in the field, super dark. We were pulling patrol. It's about like 40, 50 of us, right? Drill sergeants caught us by surprise. They came inside our patrol base and they blew that shit up basically, and we had to run 300 meters, pitch black outside, and we had to run back, right? After that point, we rounded up, the drill sergeants rounded up everybody that was asleep, wasn't pulling a watch, right? Screamed at all of them, said, get your shit together, said, who's in charge? I rose my hand. I was PG. I was platoon guy. PG, get over here. You fucked up. This is your team. Fix this, fix that. And he's just like screaming at me. This is like 3 o'clock in the morning. I'm tired. I was already up anyways. The whole entire time pulling security with me and my battle buddy. And just to know that a teammate was asleep, right? So when it comes to like teamwork, like how I said, you don't want to be that guy that can't keep up with the rest of the team. You know what I mean? Because if you don't, it's life and death, right? They're training you for real life situations that could potentially save somebody's life or it can harm somebody's life, right? And when kids, 18-year-olds, 19-year-olds, they join the military, they're not as serious as somebody that has a kid, right? Because they're just tasting the real life, right? So I came in with some real life experience, and just out of that experience, it was just like overwhelming for me. So I blew up on my team right then and there because I'm just like, fuck this, y'all go to sleep. Like, they're not coming back, And me looking back now and reflecting on it, it was like, okay, I needed that experience to get to the next level so I can reflect. Maybe I could have educated the team better. Maybe I could have said the reason why better. Instead of just blowing up on people, because blowing up on people does nothing, right? That shows that you can't control your emotions, and that shows that you're still a kid maturing into a man. So for me, how important the teamwork is as far as like the military and then going into the civilian world, Most of y'all know I am a health coach and I help people get healthy. I build up communities, and it's just so awesome. It's so awesome now, like building up a community, like talking to my neighbors, talking to my friends, and letting them know, like, hey, we're doing this on this time, and like there's no issues, there's no complaints, and if there is, I'm always ready for it because I'm prepared for it. And that next step, right? Into leadership is also educating and armoring your team that's around you so that they can have the same mindset as you and also continue to grow that mindset, because that's the ultimate reward for any leader, right? Just having your followers come back and say thank you for helping me change my life, thank you for keeping me consistent, thank you for never giving up on me, right? That's all I want from the people that I lead. But right, it made me adaptable, right? I can't stay focused on that situation forever because we're never going to move forward and we're never going to finish the mission. So it made me just completely crazy adaptable. Like I'm super obsessed now about the man that I want to be because of what the military provided me and the intensity of which it provided me. So my problem solving is through the roof now. Before it was okay, but now as life gets, I guess, the earth gets older and older, right? My problem solving gets better and better. Like it's amazing. I have to owe a lot of that to the military because you're doing these mental toughness exercises by yourself with the team, under live fire, not under live fire, sprinting like crazy, and you have to remember the freaking chain of command. It's a lot, but you just become a better individual, right? So those are cores, principles, core values. Now we're going to get into overcoming the adversity. So it's no surprise. I'm a black man living in America. There's still adversity. Like I dealt with racism growing up. Was born in 1998, right? When I was overseas, there was no racism whatsoever. There probably was, but I never heard about it. But when I moved to Texas, when I moved to San Antonio or Alabama, they were flowing. The N-word was flying everywhere, right? So everywhere. So when we talk about like the challenging situations, right? I want you guys to know like the most difficult situation that I face that I had to overcome, right? So after boot camp, I did great. Once you graduate boot camp, you go to something called AIT, Advanced Individual Training, right? At AIT, you're doing your job for your specific job, your MOS, whatever it was. Mine, 92 Yankee, I was supply specialist. So in supply, it's probably like 8 weeks for school. So my instructor, I'm not going to say his name, but he's a black dude, and he has a really thick accent, and I have a lot of questions. I'm sitting up in front of the class. I want to know everything so I can make sure that I'm doing my jobs to the highest of my ability so I don't, fuck over my team, basically, right? Like I'm not serious about my job, especially in the military. Because you don't know if your job is going to, be at the risk of somebody's life. I didn't want that for me. Whenever I asked a question, raise my hand, asked a question. Y'all hear the planes up there? This man would never answer my questions. Ever. Right? And if he did answer my questions, they were short and vague. And I would listen to the answers he would give to other people that asked the questions, and he would just tell them. And I'm like, wait a minute, what's going on? There was some type of resentment or hate towards me, and he made a huge comment in one day in the class, and I had my guys come up to me like, dude, he hates you, like, why is he doing that? I'm like, I don't know. Like, I'm trying to focus and I'm trying to study. I'm asking questions and I want to pass to get the best grade I possibly can. So I was just like, okay. Went to his study hall to make sure I got the material. Same exact thing at the study hall. And it completely baffled me because I'm just like, dude, we're the same skin color. Why are you doing this to me right now, brother? So I was like, okay, if I can't get what I need to make sure I can get to the next level, I'm going to get it from somebody else. So whenever something happens to you in the military and your first line leader isn't giving to you, go above them. Go up the ladder of chain of command. So that's exactly what I did. I brought together 2 people that were above him, and I said, hey, like, he's trying to fail me. Can I switch class? They're like, we can't switch class. Just stay in there. You got this, but we can have a talk. We talked. I said everything that was happening. I said, you can get any of those kids in there or any of those soldiers in there and bring them out here, and they could tell you, because they tell me in the barracks every day, right? And, you know, they're looking at me and they're just like, wow, like, what's going on? And they turn to the instructor, and, you know, he replies like, I've always helped you. I've always been there for you. I was like, you're lying, right? And they were like telling me to calm down, but I'm just like, no, like, he's not telling the truth. You know, he's being dishonest, and it's disrespectful to me because I'm trying to get back home to go see my wife and my kid after this AIT. And, you know, at the end of training, the same two guys that I brought there, he said, hey, like, I'm super proud of you. You honestly went through a lot. You know, you went through a lot of adversity, but you came out on top. I have to explain the mental toughness that I had, because if I was not working out, if I wasn't surrounded with people that were focusing on getting it done, I could not have got it done. My roommate, shout out to you, Carlos Rodriguez, because we were getting shit done. We were working out in our room. We were studying together. We were quizzing each other. It was like college. You know, it was like the perfect battle buddy to have whenever you're going through that. And you want to find those battle buddies, because those battle buddies will be your friends for the rest of your life. You know, appreciate it, Carlos. So, next, I want to talk about the importance of a structure and the importance of routine. If you're not in the military and you don't have any type of routine when it comes to what time you're going to sleep, what time you're waking up, what time are you working out, what time is your healthy meal for the day, right? You need to start creating this routine ASAP and have some type of solid structure for yourself, something to always fall back on. My routine when I first joined was waking up at 4 a.m. From 4 a.m. to 4:20, I am working out, I am running outside, literally, or I'm doing some push-ups in my room. From 4:20 to 4:40, I'm doing 10 minutes of affirmations. I'm doing 10 minutes of visualizations. From 4:40 to 5 o'clock, I'm learning, I'm reading something new, I'm listening to a podcast. Then I get my day started. Then I actually do my workout, like my actual workout for my goals. So that is like a routine to make sure that you fill up your cup before you start pouring yourself out to other people that aren't really deserving of your time. But you need to make sure you show up as the best version of yourself every single day, because your life truly does depend on it. Your life and the people's lives around you truly depend on it. So make sure you show up as your best self every single day, and have some type of structure and have some type of routine that you can specifically time block time out of your day, right? I usually do it every Sunday, right? Today's a Sunday. We wanted to get some content today, and we're getting some content done today, right? Even though it's hot in here, you guys are seeing me sweating, we are getting this done because I know this is going to help out somebody out there. So I'm super excited, right? Let's talk about the leadership development, right? Learning to lead. This is interesting, right? Because these are the questions that I'm getting asked to answer on this podcast. I got them all together. It says, discuss any leadership roles you took on and what you learned about leading. So, like I said, I was the platoon guy to PG. What I learned about leading is not everybody's going to like you and not everybody's going to follow you, but that's okay, right? That is okay, because as a leader, you have the opportunity to shift the direction of your team, right? I was really good about one-on-ones with about 60 dudes. You know, I said, okay, I want to have a one-on-one with every single person. I want to know why you're in the military. I want to know what fires you up. I want to know, you know, how you're going to stay consistent. So we did that. Every single guy, I'm writing down their why. So whenever they felt like getting out of line or they just didn't have the motivation no more, hey man, you know, your dad, your granddad, he might have passed away, but you know, I'm sure he would want you to finish. I'm sure he would want you to complete what you started, right? He didn't quit, you shouldn't quit. So it's just like holding people to their reason whys. So that's what I really learned about leading, is like being very intentional about helping people get to the next level. But yeah, and also leading by example, right? I can't really lead anybody if I'm overweight, if I'm always cussing, if I'm yelling at people, right? People aren't going to gravitate towards that. People aren't going to love that, right? They're not, right? It detracts people away from people. So I just be respectful, right? Live with those 7 Army Corps values if you're joining the Army, or if you're not joining the Army, right? Or even afterwards, because it takes you so far in life, right? Most people can't even name the 7 Army Corps values after boot camp because they don't really take it seriously. But you have to take this seriously because this is a once in a lifetime opportunity. And these are the lessons that I want to give you in case you are joining, or if you are a veteran that, or an active duty member that's going to become a veteran, right? So let's talk about building strong relationships. We're almost there. The camaraderie and the brotherhood. Reflect on the relationships you build in the military and the value of strong and supportive networks. Gosh. First off, shout out to everybody in Echo Company. I appreciate every single last one of you guys. The good ones and the bad ones. Man, you really do make some of the best friends whenever you're going through some shit that sucks, and whenever you're very intentional about nourishing those relationships around you. That's exactly what I was doing. I was very intentional about nourishing those relationships around me, and I was very intentional about, just helping people graduate. We wanted to be the best platoon, and we freaking were. So it was great. It was great to have that. But I have the best network of strong individuals I can just call up. I have those couple guys. It's not a lot. Like, out of a bay of 60 guys, I have like 5 solid friends. And that's what you really need anyways, to get through. I can trust them. I can depend on them. And it's just crucial in a team too. Like, you want to trust your team. You want to depend on your team to take care of the tasks that you can't take care of. So that's when you lean on people that have the strengths and you're weak in that area. You know what I mean? So it's just good to have you guys. I appreciate that, fellas. And yeah, man, I'm just looking forward to the future, to see you grow and also your families. So I'm super excited about that. So we should call this podcast a sauna podcast. Holy cow. We are sweating up in here. But that's okay, because we're almost done. And there's a lot of value in this, right? A lot of value in this. All right, transitioning into civilian life. So if you're somebody that went to the military, you went to AIT, you did your job, and you're getting ready to get out, or you're already out, right? I want you to understand something. There are challenges that we all face as military personnel going into civilian life, and you want to know how to overcome them before they come up, right? For me, as soon as I got out the military, I was depressed. I was withdrawn from life. I was like, what else am I going to do, from me learning how to be supply, but also carrying a rifle and also kind of being a badass and wearing the uniform and defending my country? What else can I do to that level of impact, right? And honestly, I'm doing it. I really am. I love making an impact in people's lives. If y'all haven't seen on my channel, go check out Super Soldier _24 on YouTube, and go all the way back, a couple months back. We're doing fit camps. We're doing full body workouts. And we're still doing that to this day. And wherever we go, we're building up a community of people that weren't healthy and helping them become healthy by moving their bodies, educating them on nutrition and, just community, right? And applying the military skills to that. It's as simple as just like understanding military lingo, right? So now you're more relatable to a more wider range of people whenever you're a veteran. It's like a big team. I'm more friends with more veterans now than I was in the military, which is crazy. And people, they always give you respect. So if you're a veteran, I say make sure you focus on yourself, right? Become very highly self-aware of what you want. I need you to have the clarity of what you truly want, because you're not working for somebody that wants something from you. You have the opportunity to do that again, or you have the opportunity to start working for yourself to actually create some foundation of legacy for your life. So make sure you become super hyper aware of what you want to create, right? Humans are goal-seeking organisms. Write down your goals again, right? Because most of the time that people that get out, they're the people that get out after 10, 15, 20 years in the military, and these are the same kids that joined at 18, 19. So they haven't even lived their 20s or 30s just being them, right? They always got to be somebody else, right? And when you're somebody else, and you're not yourself, you're probably not the most happiest or most positive person. You're probably, leaning more towards the pessimistic side. So don't be that person, right? You want to live a rich, fulfilled life even after the military. It is possible. You can do it. I believe in you, right? And if you need more help, hit me up. All social media accounts of supersoldier_24, and we could be friends. We could just talk, right? But advice for others, for those that are considering the military, I want to offer some of these advice. Thinking about joining the military and what to expect and how to prepare, right? What to expect? You're going to expect a radical shift in your personal routine. You're going to expect a radical shift in your nutrition. You're going to expect a shift in just like your complete environment. And that's okay, because it's all used to help you grow. If you aren't uncomfortable, you're not growing, right? And if you're comfortable, you're not growing. But if you are uncomfortable, you are growing. I said that better that time, I know. But with that being said, you guys, for those that are considering the military, I really want you guys to do your research. Most people that join the military do not do research in the job that they really want. If you do your research for the job you really want and you get it, you're more fulfilled just because you're doing the thing that you wanted to do right at the very beginning of your military career. It's going to save you so much negativity, and so much heartache that you're actually doing something that you're passionate about. And if you're not, no worries, because you can do something part-time within the military. I know people that are active duty Air Force, but on his passion, my guy Chris, his passion is to make music. So he makes music on the side, and he has a social media account for it. I have another friend that has a financial business, but he's also an active duty lieutenant. Right? So you can do whatever you want on the side. Right now, the military, I recommend you do that, right? Because you're building that skill set for something to have even afterwards. This is just good things to think about and good things to take away before that time comes, before it happens. Because if you're in the military right now, it's not going to last forever. So make sure that you're focusing on yourself and becoming more hyper aware of yourself, And for my veterans, I want to provide some tips on how veterans can leverage their military experiences in their careers and personal development. If you're a veteran, you need to personal develop like your life depends on it. You need to continue to read books that you haven't read already, right? Your life isn't over, right? Because me at 26, I'm considered a veteran, right? Do I feel like a veteran? No, not at all. Like, I feel like I could still run 50 miles and still be okay the next day, because I was just that guy anyways. But when you become a veteran, it's just like, okay, I don't got to wake up early no more. I don't have to listen to anybody no more. That is the wrong mindset to have. You need to keep filling up this mental factory with as much rich information as possible so you can claim the title as a veteran, and not claim it because you already are a veteran. But what I mean by that is you can earn the respect when people call you a veteran. Because it's one thing to be a veteran, but there's one thing to be a veteran. Like, you could be a veteran and you can't do shit and you're living under a bridge because you don't have the opportunity, or you don't have the resources, or you don't have the right people like Super Soldier Society that is in your ear telling you all these tips, right? Or you could be like Super Soldier Society and pour value out to your community, pour value out to the world, and in hopes of helping people get inspired and get motivated and put one foot in front of the other foot and start going in a direction to help them move forward, right? So that's for my veterans. I feel for you because I know a lot of veterans that just have a lot of mental illnesses, disorders. They're broken, but I know a lot of good veterans that are doing a lot of good too. I really do. So, general life lessons. Share border life lessons that anyone can benefit from, whether or not they served in the military. So the life lessons, right? Something as simple as treat everybody the same, right? And what I mean by that, if you're mean to yourself and you talk negatively to yourself, do not treat everybody like that, right? Treat everybody like you see the gold in them. Treat everybody like that. I don't care if it's the most handsomest person or the ugliest person, the tallest person, the shortest person. It doesn't matter what you look like or who you are, because at the root of it, we are all human beings. Everybody here is a human being. I'm on team humanity, right? So I say that because whenever you get in the military, or even after the military, who's around you? People. People are always around you. So if you treat everybody with respect, right? If you honor everybody, right? If you have the personal courage to help the weak, right? If you have the selfless service to put others' needs before your own, you're going to have a good life in the military, out the military, or even just getting ready for the military. And leadership will catch on, and they'll know, and you'll be promoted even faster in the military, even out of the military, because people just gravitate towards that attractiveness of just having respect for every other person, right? So I wanted to do a quick summary. This is the longest self podcast that I have done. I know I haven't been on here in a while. My wife is active duty Navy. Shout out to wifey. Super excited for her, and just gave me more of a reason to continue these Super Society podcasts. No matter what, we're going to get some air conditioning in here. We're going to get some more funding in here. And we're going to make sure that we're not sweating or drenched while we're giving value to people that actually need it. So real quick, what we went over, my background, my personal story, why we joined the military, the training and the early challenges in the military, the core values and the principles of the military, overcoming adversity inside the military, the importance of structure and routine, leadership, building strong relationships, transitioning to civilian life, and just advice for other people, you guys. And I encourage all the listeners that are listening to right now to reflect and how you can apply these lessons to your own life and to your own career, because you don't need to be going to the military to understand how to have respect for a teammate, to make them feel like they want to show up at work every single day as their best self. You don't, right? So I wanted to give y'all a little teaser on this. I will be coming out with 2 new videos every single week now, you guys, no matter what. If it doesn't look as pretty as this, or if it looks better, so be it, you guys. But I also want to give out so much value, you guys, because time is so precious and we never get this time back. But if I was to die tomorrow, my kids can see this podcast and re-watch it and just be ready for life. So hope to God I don't, because I know God's working in my life and around my family and my friends. So, but yeah, you guys, I hope you guys like the structure of that Super Society podcast, the individual side of it. I try to come out with more videos like this. If you guys do want to see more videos like this, please subscribe, please like, please leave your favorite comment down below of what you like to learn in the Super Society podcast, or who I should interview next. And let me know what you liked learning the best down below also. Other than that, you guys, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.